There's something grand, something romantic about a coach and pair wheeling its way towards the isolated splendor of a towering castle. It could be the beginning of a fairy tale, until the footman steps forward to open the door on the latest fashion idea from Irish dress designers. Come along and sample the luxuries inside Dromoland Castle, the plushest and most comfortable castle in Ireland, and it's been converted into a 70-bedroom luxury hotel that Dublin fashion houses just can't resist as a setting to show off their latest designs. Dial for glamour and you're on the right line for a collection which uses traditional Irish tweeds and materials and dresses them up in a way that never fails to catch a photographer's eye. Elegance and beauty flaunt themselves in a centuries-old castle, a Parisian-style scene in a country which is famed for its handiwork and hard-earned skills. And of these, what could be more fascinating than glass-blowing? Twisting and turning the molten glass to create glittering masterpieces worthy of the Waterford Crystal tradition. This man, a German, is the only remaining craftsman among 12 continental glassblowers who arrived at the factory when it was reopened only 15 years ago. 15 years. Yet incredibly, Waterford has won back its 18th century reputation and now boasts the youngest craftsman in the business. Blown, shaped, then delicately cut by craftsmen who must have an inch-perfect eye and a steady hand. You're almost mesmerized by the expert techniques which must be precise enough to escape a blue-penciled rejection from those who check every piece of glassware produced. Only the finest are sold and put on show, a sparkling tribute to almost priceless talents. Beautiful, really beautiful. So raise your glasses to the fascination of Ireland and drink in all the delights which you see from the comfort of a railway restaurant car. The Irish have interpreted luxury traveling in the best possible way. They've taken a tip from their airline rivals and introduced rail hostesses to be on hand to point out the ever-changing attractions. Just half a day's travelling from Dublin can take you to some of the most splendid scenery in the British Isles. The West Coast, rugged and remote. Yet you can never wander far in Ireland without seeing a golf course. Ah, the luck of the Irish. Yet Ireland isn't all what it seems. There's an unmistakable oriental atmosphere at Kildare. The Japanese garden, designed and laid out over 50 years ago, symbolizes the life of man. Here you can climb the hill of learning, walk the path of wedded life, and cross to the tiny islands of joy and wonder. Japan in Ireland. Italy, too, is only a boat ride from the west coast village of Glengariff, yet Garnish Island seems nothing more than a rocky wilderness as you clamber ashore. The Italianate colonnades and pavilions you come to see are hidden among flowers and plants which were collected from all over the world and now flourish here in the mild west coast climate. For a moment it's hard to realize that such granite beauty is Ireland. You've almost forgotten what it's like to look down on the shores of Lake Killarney, where a factory can be built and lost in a cloak of greenery. Yes, industry has moved into this lakeland setting, and with it have come modern hotels and houses. Progress has edged relentlessly forward, except in Donegal, where hand-knotted carpets are designed and made by methods that haven't changed since the last century. The single-strand care that goes into the making of each carpet has earned unique fame. Tradition is handed down to each generation. Pride is woven into every design that will eventually adorn a palace or a home somewhere in the world. Every tuft of wool is knotted individually, and it can take months of patience to produce just one carpet. And when completed, it will never be repeated, for this is a skill which makes a mockery of mass production. The final trimmings include a close shave to even out the woolen pile, and only then can the seal of craftsmanship be added. For the name of Donegal means true craftsmanship, even in the hand-weaving industry, which has grown from a cottage craft to factory-sized proportions. Here you can see how Ireland has organized an age-old skill into a dollar-earning export. The clack of the shuttle is now heard in factories as well as hillside cottages. The looms weave their symphony of color. And as you watch, little seems to have changed from the days when medieval merrymaking was provided by a harpist and fiddler. We're at a medieval banquet at Waterford Castle. Welcome, my noble lords and ladies, to a touch of theatrical history. So please accept the bread of friendship. Live like a lord and enjoy this 15th century splendor. Pay homage to your newly crowned earl and his lady, and raise your glasses of mead to drink their health. Pray silence, my lords, to receive your first remove. Brown broth. As everything's been faithfully recreated here to stimulate the old world atmosphere in a candlelit hall that's seen many a slap-up feast in past centuries. And with 2 performances daily, there are many more to come. Who worries about table etiquette when you're living it up 15th century fashion? There are even pretty serving wenches dressed up to do a jig in the cabaret spot. Well, that's Ireland for you. A land of castles, crafts and traditions. Gay, infectious, fascinating. And it all bubbles to the surface in one night of medieval merriment. Tuck in, my noble lords, because you won't get a history lesson served up like this anywhere else.